Hello, my name is Pauline Wiles, and I'm joined in conversation today by Nell McShane-Wolfhart. Nell is better known as the decision coach, and she helps her clients get unstuck with their choices in just one session. She has a background in travel journalism, and she's lived abroad in multiple countries, recently now moved to Switzerland. We met when I did a major update on her website for her, and I'm looking forward to hearing about this unique approach for helping people make decisions. So now, hello, welcome.
Hi, Pauline. Thanks so much for having me. Nice to see you again.
Would you like to start by telling us a bit more about yourself and this fascinating business?
Sure. It's actually very simple. I've been doing this job for about 10 years, and all I do is help people make one big decision. So there's no courses, there's no memberships, it's not therapy, it's not life coaching. People have a big decision to make, whether that's to take a job offer or to get a divorce or to move to a new city. And sometimes they just get really hung up on that particular decision. I have a session with them. We make the decision. We figure out how they're going to move forward. That's it.
So these can be quite big choices then that people need your help with.
Yeah, I mean, it ranges from the very big to the very small. So there's this sort of thing like, should I have a baby?
Oh,
Which is huge. And then there's what color should I paint my kitchen, which is a real question that somebody asked me to help them decide. So a lot of them are sort of in the middle, like, should I move to a new place? Or, should I take this job offer? Or should I go freelance? Something like that.
okay, yeah. So still big, but not quite as life-changing as a baby.
That's definitely the one people find the most stressful for obvious reasons. Yeah.
And so you have this amazing approach of just one session, but you don't just jump in there and start giving out advice. You do have a process where you ask your clients some values questions. Is that right?
Yes, I have everybody do a couple exercises before we have the session, identifying their values, not really moral values or religious values, anything like that. More like, I don't like to set an alarm clock in the morning, or like, the things that make your day-to-day life good, like those values, I think are the most important. And then I ask them also to envision themselves in the future, in 1 year, in 5 years, and in 10 years. And then those two exercises, along with many, many, many questions from me, helps get us to the right decision for that person, usually in an hour, sometimes hour and a half.
Yeah, wow. And how often do you hear back from people as to how the decision turned out and how they're feeling about things?
I always ask people to write me back, write me in 6 months and let me know how things are going. But most people forget to do that. But I do sometimes hear from people, I don't do the same decision more than once. Like by the time you have come to a stranger on the internet for help with your problem, you do not need more than one session on the decision. So if I may help somebody make a decision, like that's it. That's the end of the discussion on that decision. And then occasionally people do remember to write me back and update me on how things are going. And I love to hear how things have worked out for them.
Okay, wow. And to my listening to this sounds like a lot of pressure on you. How do you go into these sessions feeling comfortable and confident? What makes you happy to take on these big choices and big discussions?
That's a really good question. First of all, if anyone ever starts to tell me about their problems, my brain automatically goes to work on like how to fix those problems. That is just the way I am. That's the way I've always been. And that's how I got into this business in the first place, because my friends and family were like, stop giving us advice we did not ask for. Maybe other people actually want this help. So, so like my brain is doing that for everybody all around me all the time. And second of all, I've just found that people get really hung up on decision making. People are not good at decision making. No one's ever really trained for it. No one's kind of taught how to do it. And it's just really difficult for people to sometimes just get over that one decision. They spiral, weeks go by, months go by, years go by, and for some reason they just can't make up their minds about it. So they just need like a little help getting over that obstacle. And at the end of the call, when we've made the decision, not only do they feel like so relieved and able to actually start moving forward with their lives, I just like love that feeling. Like I feel great also. I'm like vicariously cheering them on, like super excited.
Yeah, fascinating. Do you find that you yourself are good about making the big decisions in your own life?
Yes, I rarely, sometimes I'll get hung up on like what to eat for dinner. Or but that's only if I'm kind of have like a lot of decision fatigue from like making decisions all day. But no, I make decisions pretty fast and pretty efficiently. And that's actually kind of the most important advice I could possibly give to people is like, don't linger too long over your decisions because the quality of the decision is not really affected by how long you take to make it. So taking an extra month or 2 months or 6 months, it usually just means like that time is gone forever. And the decision you make is not really improved by having that extra time in most situations.
Okay, yeah. So one of your promises is helping your clients get unstuck. And it sounds like you're saying that the longer you agonize over this, the more stuck you can get.
The more stuck you can get and the more sort of bogged down in detail you are, and the harder it is to like actually take the action. But in a lot of cases, if you can just make the decision fast and take action on it, first of all, most decisions are reversible. So you can just like, if it doesn't work out, you can start again. But second of all, like you then you have actual real tangible data on the choice. You know, if you decide to start a freelance business, like you could spend 6 months starting it and at the end of those 6 months have actual information now on like, do you like doing it? Is it making money? Can you succeed at it? Or you can spend 6 months thinking about it and you can see like the difference in those results and the same amount of time has gone by.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So better to use the time nudging yourself forward in some way.
Yes, 100%, like in 99% of situations for sure.
Yeah. Now, you'd had this business for quite some time before we were introduced. What made you decide it was time to get yourself a new website?
I was doing some very belated SEO work on my website, finally trying to like improve my search engine optimization and put more keywords, et cetera, et cetera. And the people that I had hired to help me do that pointed out that a lot of the content on my site, while reasonable content, was embedded in images, and that's something a previous designer had done. So the search engines couldn't read it essentially. So it was kind of going to waste, at least for like search purposes. So I realized I love the design, I love the original, designer's work, but like the whole thing had to be redone and replaced. And so the text could go in on top and so it could be changed. And that's where you came in and yeah, made all the difference.
Yeah. Your project was a lovely example of how a website can look beautiful, but behind the scenes, it's not actually doing its job for the business.
Yes, which I did not realize. And then once you made the changes to the website and I could put the content in so that a search engine could read it, I like definitely saw like an improvement in my SEO and in people finding me, just the number of visitors to this site. Like it was long overdue.
Cool. Yeah. So by the time most people come to me, they have decided they would like a new website. But for anyone who's feeling stuck with that decision, what would your guidance be? How should somebody make up their mind whether to start over with their website or keep going with what they've got?
I would say that in almost every case, if you think you need a new website, like you're way past the point of needing a new website and you should just do it. I feel like I've encountered quite a lot of people who do incredible work and like their services are amazing and whether they're writers or coaches or whomever, but like they just don't get around to updating the website. And it's really doing themselves a disservice because when I go to the website, I don't have trust in those people. It's like the website does not feel fresh. It doesn't feel new. It's obviously out of date. The clips are old, something like that. So if it's in the back of your mind, like, oh yeah, I should get around to doing a new website. Like my advice to almost everyone making a decision is like, do the hard bit now so you can get to the good bit faster. And okay, like redoing the website takes some time, it takes some money, it takes a little effort, but like the sooner you get it done, the sooner you can start reaping the rewards of having it done. And bonus, you don't have to keep making that decision and like thinking that decision, which as we've already established, I don't like.
Interesting perspective. Yes, I obviously look at websites through very specialized eyes, but that's fascinating to hear you say that if you think it's time, it's probably past time.
Yeah, and it's true for websites. It's true for lots of different decisions. But yeah, like websites are just so essential, especially for anyone who's self-employed. And it's really like doing your whole business a disservice to have an out-of-date website.
And how did it feel for you as a client, the process of working with me?
I think I've told you this already in emails, Pauline, but like I should tell anyone watching this. It was just, I just felt like I was in a safe pair of hands. Like I would get these emails from you and I could just tell that you had like this incredible system going on behind the scenes. Like it was organized, every detail was taken care of. Like there was like a checklist and like boxes were being checked off one by one by one. It just felt so reassuring. I didn't have to like answer a million questions. I knew that every single detail was being taken care of because I could just tell how from your emails, like how organized and systematic the whole thing was. So it was a great experience. I felt like a huge sense of relief after it was finished. To not have had to do it myself and to know that it was like that it was well done, and bonus, it like looked really good also.
Yeah, that's great. And you said the website, you're noticing that people are able to find you that way now. And you also described as getting past the project so you could be more involved in the fun stuff. Do you feel a difference in your business now that you're on the other side of that project?
I mean, I see a difference in my business. Like I see, like I said, more visitors to the site and just more people are finding me. And also like the site is easier for me to, if I need to make edits to the copy or change anything, it's like much easier for me now because you've done all the hard work, sorting that out for me beforehand. So it definitely feels like, okay, I did I subcontracted the difficult part out to you. And now I can just sort of like cruise along and like not worry about the website at all and not think, oh, I should take care of that or oh, I should do that. Yes, it was a real load off my shoulders.
Yeah, and you've got some other exciting business projects coming up. Do you want to tell us a bit about what's coming for you?
Yeah, that's true. I'm making a podcast with Audible, the Decision Coach podcast, and that will be out on January 18th. So you can tune in to listen to me coaching people in real sessions. There's 6 episodes. Each one of them I coach a different client through a big decision, whether career or relationship or other mysterious, exciting problems. And that'll be available on Audible and also on Apple Podcasts.
Fabulous. Okay, so we can head to Audible and Apple to find that. And the name of the podcast again?
The Decision Coach.
The Decision Coach. Perfect. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. And yeah, I think that's great timing for this conversation. People will be able to head over there and listen to you doing your work. And where else can people find out about you and even book one of these wonderful sessions to help them make their own decision?
They can find me at decisioncoach.com. I also have a newsletter there that I send out every couple of weeks with decision-making tips and useful information. So they can sign up for my newsletter there. It's totally free. But yeah, everything is at decisioncoach.com.
Thank you very much, Nell.
Hey, thank you so much, Pauline.